The baileys of Dol Guldur are highly fortified, nearly impenetrable, and the finest of the enemy's soldiers defend within. Before the rest of the fortress can be assaulted, these must be taken.
Welcome, this is Pine Leaf Needles, Skirmisher in Middle-earth. This is the start of Season 3 of Skirmisher of Middle-earth. In this season, I'll be going through each of the classes month by month, and in each short series, I will do one class. Thus, hopefully, during this time, I'll get a little bit more used to the class rather than constantly swapping from class to class. In this case, I'll be doing the burglar this month, and there'll be 4 episodes. Now, with most classes, I will be doing everything. I'll be doing 4 different skirmishes in most of the classes. The exception will be with the burglar here. And that is because there are some changes coming along with skirmishes in Update 13. So I'd like to show you the before and the after case. In that they are going to be making things a little bit tougher. So let's see whether or not it is really tougher when it's coming on. I'm doing this Assault at Ringwraiths Lair at Tier 2. In the episode after this, I'll be doing Fungalhot at Tier 2. And then I will do the same thing for Post Update 13. Since I expect Update 13 to be out about 9 days from the time this is recorded. Oh, maybe 8 days. 8 or 9 days after this is recorded, and when that happens, I'll expect to see things a little bit tougher. Now, I'm running these at Tier 2. Looks like with the burglar, it's not exactly as simple as it is with some others. Some of the classes, Tier 2 Skirmish is rather on the easy side. Seems to be a little bit more challenging here, so I'm sure it's going to be quite interesting in when Update 13 hits. Now, what they'll be doing in Update 13 is they will be adjusting mitigations and the like, but they will also be adjusting the abilities of the opponents, where they'll have higher morale, and I presume higher stats otherwise. Of course, that's based on what we see at Bulbar, and everything there is subject to change. We'll have a better idea when Update 13 actually hits. Now let's look at a typical mob. Right, you see tons of these drakes all over the place. So for example, this drake is at 17,738. So we'll see what it's like at the higher after Update 13. And I'm sure we'll see at least one drake there, so we have an idea of how it is relative to 17,000. And looks like I have plenty of time with drakes here. Alright. Good thing that helped my soldier also, since my soldier probably needs that little bit of healing. Probably more than I did. Now my soldier right now is ranked at appropriate rank for this level. The nominal level rating for the rank is 96, which is just one above mine. Therefore not too expensive to purchase, but should be enough for the soldier to be viable in the skirmish. Now I'm choosing these because I feel that Assault and Ringwraiths Lair should be reasonably appropriate for a burglar, since I'm in mischief stance, and with Riddle I should have some control over what's going on. Which is always nice. So that makes things a little bit easier to control. Especially with the double lieutenants in there, being able to riddle one lieutenant, so I can only need to fight one lieutenant at a time when I'm at the third counterattack here at the gates. So I chose one for being appropriate for a burglar. The other one I chose, Thunglehod, I chose because that should be especially challenging for a burglar, since there you have 6 or 7 mobs coming at you all at a time. These 17,560. Alright. And I figure that with 6 at a time, it should be especially challenging for a burglar. So I chose one for being challenging for a burglar, and one that I think would be that a burglar should have no trouble with, though riddling everything is probably going to slow things down a little bit. And this is to go as the way of showing that there's some skirmishes that will be easier on some classes and others that will be... Oh, Zealot obviously gets the riddle on them. There's some that will be easier on some classes and a little bit more challenging on others. So in those where the crowd control comes in quite handy, such as this one, should be easier, and those with so many mobs that it's hard to really keep control of them at once would be the tougher ones. At least that is my guess at the moment, and we will try to verify this in our following episode. Let's see if we have an encounter here. Alright, I have to stand still in order to get rid of that. Now we have to go way down here. Should take a sip of coffee first. A little bit of energy is going to help there. Ah, Phalathron. Or Phalathron, or whatever. See if I could do this. Can't do much in the way of stealth, but getting behind him on a riddle is not bad. Shouldn't be too much. Yeah, I should be able to handle a fight one-on-one. That shouldn't be too much of a problem. Especially with all the... Now that clever retort allows me some pretty good control over what's going on, but this guy really hits hard. Good thing I didn't decide to do this at tier 3. I had to pull out every trick I could in order to get through this. Ooh, and that completes my deed that was the last one I needed to complete my deed for this particular skirmish. It's nice to make some progress on that, since that is one of the plans I have for this year, is to complete as many of those deeds as possible. And that's one less I have to worry about now. I'll take care of this drake. On a group run, you will run into some bigger drakes than this. Oh, let's see. Let me get Riddle off of the cooldown first, because I obviously want to riddle the Daywalker Berserker as soon as he puts up his shield. There we go. Nice being able to do that and not having to actually have him pound on you for 20 seconds. Now, let's see. Surprise! Ouch. He likes doing that. He hits like a brick. And hopefully in a moment he'll fall down like a brick. On top of me! Ow, 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 ow. Alright, more like a felled tree. Alright, Shepherd of Filth. In this case, keep Riddle reserved. For that. Actually, let's take care of this guy first then. Hey, what woke you up? Take a tree. Oops. I really didn't want to use that thing, but I wasn't quite prepared for that timing. Now, concerning Inst, one of the other things in Update 13 is there's some sort of cosmetic pet you'll be able to earn there. Of course, I need to finish the epic on this character first. Hopefully I can do that before I finish this month's storyline. I mean, before I finish this month's series, so maybe at the end of the series I could be able to tell you that I have successfully finished Volume 3. But I'm still in Book 13 at the moment. So I'm hoping to finish that soon on this character, and when I finish that I can worry about it'll probably be pretty close to the time that we'll be starting Book 14, and Book 14 is going to be part of Update 13. I know, how is that nice and confusing for you? Of course, there was an early time when the updates were named after the books that were being included. But that's a little bit tougher back in the days, now that we have 3 books with the same name. Like Book 5, is that... Okay. Book 5 was part of the original release. In both Volume 1 and Volume 2s were both with the original release and with the Mori expansion, so I guess there wouldn't have been an update called Book 5. There you go. Oh boy. Now, alright, what do we have here? Oh, another Zealot of Pain. Zealot of Pain and Deathmonger. Which one should I take? It'd be tougher if it were two Deathmongers. I have had that happen in the past. It's not fun. Hey! Oh, you are... You're right. You're getting it. There you go. Now... Oh, this guy. And now this is a guy that likes... Actually, remember... I think Fine Footing is the one I want to use for this one. If necessary. I should really start with getting some of these up. We know how tough these guys are from the last fight I had. What's the cooldown on this thing? That's tough. Oh, it's only 2 minutes. I thought it was a 5-minute cooldown. Maybe that's because of my line. Alright, hopefully that'll help me a little bit. Trying to get my morale back up. I'm surprised he hasn't gone from me. Yeah, you get a little touch and go there. I need to remember to use that actually once in a while. I'm sure I'm far from finishing the deed related to that. And he's down. I think in a lot of my other classes I'd be finished with the skirmish by now at tier 2. Be even at tier 3. So my burglary needs a little bit of work. And Flax is way behind me. Hey Flax! Now we're up here. Oh yeah. Need to give Flax a little reminder to actually fight in this. Now Touch and Go seems to have a 5-minute cooldown though. Alright. That's something to keep in mind. Now for the boss fight. Just about the only thing I keep these +5 tokens for is for this boss fight. Since he has about 3 dread on him, I think. I guess I'll... Yeah, 3 dread. Now I could counter most of it. In that I can counter one with the Glass of Burglary, and then there's the... Should have a book in here somewhere. It comes from the epic storyline. That for hobbits at least gives a +1 hope. Now the challenge is to do this before the Drake comes by, right? Now it's not as important, of course, in solo. Since in a solo run, the Drake's not going to land. Alright. Go. And there's a mandatory stun at the end. And he's down. And that concludes Assault on the Ringwraiths Lair, which took me 21 minutes and 45 seconds. Which, I don't know, seems rather low for this particular... I hit ally with the Maladream. Alright, hit ally with the Maladream. That's nice to know. I completed the deed for all the encounters in this skirmish, so that's good. And of course I survived, which is always good. And got 2 relics, which isn't bad. And 7 bounties. That's quite a bounty. So not a bad run here at Tier 2 on Assault on the Ringwraiths Lair. Next time we will do Protectors of Fongelhad in Skirmisher of Middle-earth.